Everyone's cool with us judging you all, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you guys can wait for a bit. I'm going to edit the names in my script first.
Hi, Zati. So there will be about 3 adjudicators in one room. Is it?
Oh, Hadira, I thought you were not coming. We were waiting for you. Okay, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. If that's the case, Cyril, I'm so sorry. We're placing you with Gavi. So sorry for this. I thought you were responding, so I thought you were there.
Bye, guys. All the best for your quarterfinals.
Bye, Cyril.
Okay, all set. Okay, is the recorder recording? Okay, it is. Okay, Anna. Bismillah. Good afternoon. Welcome to the quarterfinal round, room 3 of Z132nd Architectural Students Workshop first ever debate competition Beyond. Today's match is between Team USM from USM and Team Fulminar from UTM. The motion for today's debate is this house believes that unpaid internship should be against the law. Now we will be determining the government and the opposition sides for both teams using a coin toss. For University Science Malaysia, if the coin lands on heads, the team will be acting as the government. If it lands on tails, the team will be acting as the opposition. Once determined by the first team side, the other team will instantly be acting as the opposite side. We hope everyone is clear on the instructions. We shall begin now. As you can see from the screen, University Science Malaysia will be acting as the government side. Meanwhile, Fulminar from UTM will be acting as the opposition side. Okay. We hope every speaker is clear on their respective team sides. Now 15 minutes will be given among each team speakers to discuss among themselves using their own means of communication. Please note that speakers must mute their microphones and turn off their cameras during the preparation time. Speakers may not try to communicate with the competing team in any way, shape, or form. The time starts now. The preparation time has ended. Speakers, please turn on your cameras so that we can begin. Before we can start the debate, the speakers of USM must state their speaker's position. So USM, can I know who is going to be the first speaker?
Hi, I'm the first speaker.
Which Shararath?
Yes.
Okay, then who is going to be the second speaker?
Helwani,
Okay, and the third speaker?
Ui Iling.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Next, the speakers for UTM must state their speaker's position. UTM, can I know who's going to be your first speaker?
Alia Rafai.
All right. Second speaker?
Abdul Rashid.
And third speaker?
Nur Zakila.
All right, thank you. Okay. Good afternoon to the honorable adjudicators, lecturers, debaters, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start our debate today, please mute your microphones to ensure that there will be no disturbance to the floor of this debate. I would like all participants to turn on their cameras for this competition. I am Aimini Balkis and I will be the chairperson for this debate session. Meanwhile, Alifah Ilyana will be the timekeeper for this debate. This House would like to call upon the motion that this House believes that unpaid internship should be against the law. Now, I would like to clarify the rules and regulations of this debate competition. For the substantive speech, the timekeeper will ring the bell at the end of the first minute to show that the point of information, POI, can now be delivered. The timekeeper will ring once at the beginning of 6 minutes to show that the time for POI is over. The timekeeper will ring twice at the 7th minute, after which the speaker has 15 seconds to conclude their speech. Then the timekeeper will ring continuously to show that the time is over, and any further explanation will not be taken into account. After both sides have presented their speeches, 3 minutes will be given to each team to prepare for their reply speeches. The opposition side will present their reply speech first, followed by the government side. Reminder, no new arguments and POIs are to be presented in the reply speeches. For the reply speeches, the timekeeper will ring once at the end of 3rd minute to indicate that the speaker has 1 minute left to conclude their speech. And the timekeeper will ring twice at the 4th minute, in which the speaker has 10 seconds to conclude. Finally, the timekeeper will ring continuously to indicate that the time is over. All debaters are expected to have a reliable and good internet connection during this debate. Should there be any unavoidable circumstances where debaters lose connection during their speech, 5 minutes will be granted for debaters to regain their connection. If debaters fail to gain the connection within 5 minutes, marks will be given according to how far they presented before the connection was lost. A sound check will be done now as I announce the speakers of each team. When your name is called, please test your microphones to ensure you are audible. Please inform the committee if there are any problem or technical issues. All right. USM will be acting as a government team with Ms. Shararath as the Prime Minister. Ms. Shararath, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
All right, thank you. Ms. Helwani as a government whip. Ms. Helwani, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. I'm sorry. Ms. Helwani as the Deputy Prime Minister, am I right? Am I right, Ms. Helwani? Are you the Deputy Prime Minister?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Uy Iling as the Government Whip. Are you here, Ms. Uy Iling?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Then Fulminar from UTM will be acting as the opposition team for this debate with Miss Alia as the opposition leader. Miss Alia, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Mr. Abdul Rashid as the deputy leader of opposition. Mr. Abdul Rashid, are you here?
Of course,
All right.
I'm here.
And Miss Nuris Akila as the opposition with Miss Nuris Akila, are you here?
Yes, hello
All
everyone.
right. Thank you. I shall now introduce our adjudicators, Mr. Oy Chin Kiat and Ms. Nur Hadira. Without further ado, I call upon the Prime Minister, Ms. Shararat, to open the case for the government. The floor is yours.
A very good day to Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. So the motion for our debate is that this House believes that unpaid internship should be against the law. Now, we as today proposition strongly believes that this is true. But before we come to our actual argumentation, let us define some important terms in this debate. As you can see, there's a internship. So internship as defined in the Oxford, which is the position of a student or trainee who works in an organization in order to gain work experience or satisfy requirements for a qualifications. So in Malaysia, there's a few law that works around the internship. One of it is the labor law. We have the National Wages Consultative Council Act 2011, and we even have the Minimum Wages Order 2016. So today, as the first speaker, I'll be talking to you about why unpaid internship should be against the law, where it restricts students from exploring other opportunities, and unpaid internship impacts the career outcomes. And also, it deepens the existing social divide, where this is against all the law that is set in Malaysia. And my second speaker will be talking about how the internship should be paid, where it can increase the efficiency of interns, where it contributes to their works, and also according to the social mobility and the low income accessibility. So our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. So I am going to discuss 2 points. So before you start jumping through the legal hoops of employing an unpaid intern, it may be worthwhile to consider the moral issues as well. It's hard to see any harm done in an unpaid internship. They're free to leave after all. But according to the Economic Policy Institute, however, unpaid internship can be of a great detriment to social mobility. In short, for such student, the price of an unpaid internship is not just time, but the opportunity cost of the wages they could be earning in another part-time or full-time role. Unpaid internship create a vicious circle. They reward students who are clearly advantaged while ramping up the competition for everyone else. Malaysia interns cannot circumvent the National Wages Consultative Council Act 2011, as Section 2 of the Act requires as an intern to be an employee according to the first schedule of the Employment Act 1955. An internship would not meet such a narrow definition, as the closest that an intern can qualify for, which is apprenticeship, would require more than 2 years of contract with the employer. It is fallacious to claim that internships are designed entirely for the benefit of interns and that business take little or nothing in return. Internships are actually beneficial to companies as they can effectively train a person to the suitability of the company without paying them the full salary of an entry-level employee would be entitled to. And companies can easily hire the person once they finish graduation for the close relationship harness. Paid internships are also more likely to acquire a more competitive and diverse pool of applicants for the companies. In Malaysia, the law is pretty blurry when it comes to paying the interns. Basically, it all depends on their employment status. If an intern is classed as an employee, they will be entitled to salary or wage. In fact, they may also entitled to minimum wages under the Minimum Wages Order 2016, as well as other statutorily imposed employer benefits. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. And it's really unfair for this internship to be unpaid. It restricts the students to explore other opportunities. So the status of an intern in Australia and the UK in United Kingdom, if an intern does normal paid work for an employer, then they are qualified as an employee and are eligible for employment rights as well. There are exceptions such as when a person undergoes a student internship or a schoolwork experience placement is a voluntary work, or they are on the job learning. Yes, please.
You mentioned earlier unpaid internship restricts the students. How is that so?
I'm sorry, what?
You said unpaid internship restricts the students. How is that so? In terms of picking the, yeah.
Okay, when you have it based on my experience, last time I did internship and I get unpaid, it reduced my enthusiasm to go to the company, as I feel like what I do is not enough to get paid. But in fact, rather that I did what I can do in part of the employee there. So doesn't it mean that you need to get paid for what you have bring the firms, like the architect firms works, like you did all the works and you can be on par with the employee. So yeah, it's fair to be paid. And this house, I will conclude that this house believes that unpaid internship should be against the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. The Prime Minister spoke for 6 minutes and 32 seconds. Next, let us invite the opposition leader, Ms. Alia, to state the opposition's objections with regards to today's motion.
Thank you, Chairperson. Can you hear me? Okay. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day I bid to the honorable adjudicators, the timekeepers, the program recorders, and to the government team that has spoken just now. So here's how I will structure my speech. I will first start with the rebuttals against the government's arguments just now, and then I will I will claim on the definition of what they said, and then I will introduce the points that we, the opposition team, have our opposition team's points. Okay. So before I start with the rebuttals, we would like to say that the opposition team agrees with the definition. However, we would like to add on that it is effectively because it is the company because the company effectively the company has to train them, and that isn't enough for what the company can do to the internship. So okay, now I will go to some rebuttals. So based on what the government has said, their point is to restrict this. The point is that this internship should be unpaid because it restricts students from being enthusiastic in what they want to work for. So I believe that this isn't really the problem. I mean, the unpaid internship isn't really the problem that affects the enthusiasm of the interns in a company. I believe that it is due to the way that the company is treating and carrying out their internship programs is what affects your enthusiasm and your basically your emotions towards the type of job. So we believe that that is the main problem. It's not about unpaying or paying the internship program itself. It's about how the employers treat and treat their interns. So our stance is, instead of making it against the law, we want to provide solutions to curb the problem and to also ensure that the interns are protected, that our stakeholders for today. So, sorry, yes.
Sorry, I would like to raise an issue. Doesn't it mean that if you're working and the company doesn't want to pay you, doesn't you feel you're not needed, you're untreated, like you're mistreated by the company? Like,
Okay,
this
thank
is
you.
that
Yeah, okay.
express how the employees is going to treat the interns, because you're producing, you're contributing, but you are not
Okay.
considered as employees.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the POI. However, I would like to point that internship in itself, just like in your definition, is someone who gains experience only in this kind of program. So, and they actually work for employees for their school credits and for their school credits in order to graduate. So it's like, this concept is kind of like how students don't get paid for taking any classes, because in internship, it is the employers who train them, right? Okay, so in context to this, an internship program shouldn't, I mean, an intern shouldn't be seen as an employer during the internship program, because they still have a lot of training left to do, and that if they were to get paid, they would have a lot of expectations from the employers, because employees, employees who are being paid should not be making the mistakes that a student may be expected to make. Okay, so this is the one of, so I'm going into my point, in which internship is only a training experience, and there's no reason to actually pay them because of this experience. And besides, it is the employer that are training the interns, and we as the interns are taking some of their time, are taking their specific number of professional hours on their job to train us. So we take the example of the American Psychological Association, in which in psychology, it is not enough to earn a license to practice. Practicing psychologists have to complete the internship, in which they receive valuable experience that cannot be attained in other ways. So based on this, we can see that how internship is only like a training ground for all these interns. And so this experience, we believe, does not need to be incented by payment. And that's so our stance here is not to further burden the government's economy position by providing payment to interns who do not actually have the position to receive these payments. And in another way, we would provide solutions to curb this problem by engaging in the employer's position on treating their interns better. Yeah. So with that, I add my stance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Alia. The opposition leader spoke for 7 minutes and 1 second. To continue our debate today, I call upon the Deputy Prime Minister, Ms. Helwani, to counter the opposition's arguments.
Good afternoon to the respected speaker, cautious timekeeper, honorable judges, members of the opposite team, and members of the floor. As the second speaker, I'm going to rebut every single problematic idea that came from the leader of opposition. So I will bring out my positive materials. First, I would like to ask, based on the leader of opposition's point, which are the internship for all the expenses that you're facing on your way from home to the office. Therefore, I had to disagree with that statement. And that the efforts, the skills and talent that and your time as an intern is actually valuable, and that value is worth the money. So you don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Sorry, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, okay. So that the value time is valuable, and that value is worth the money. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So I'm speaking on behalf of all the internship throughout the Malaysia, where they are mistreated.
Sorry,
And you say credits are enough throughout their internship?
Problems from
Yes.
our second speaker. Can we start it over again? Because I
Hello.
tadi ada
Can you stop the timer, Yana?
Can we start again? Like
How can I ask the adjudicator first?
Yes.
sure. Sorry for that. Sorry
Oh my
for that.
God. Wait, can you give me a minute to fix this?
Ms. Helwani, can you wait for a second? I think I should ask the adjudicator first. Maybe they
Okay,
can
okay.
decide it for us. Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Okay. What do you think, Ms. Hadira? Can
I'm
we-
okay, but I just want to remind, if the speaker is breaking up, just make sure you, what we call it, you pause the timer, okay? So that
Alright.
the timer will not be extended. Okay.
So is Ms. Helwani going to start again?
What
Starting
about
from 0?
another adjudicator? You can ask.
I'm also okay. Yeah.
Okay, since you're okay with it, then it's fine. Okay, Yana, can you
So
restart the
I
timer?
reset. Okay.
Yep, thank you. And then, okay, to continue our debate today, I call upon the Deputy Prime Minister, Ms. Helwani, to counter the opposition's arguments.
Okay. Sorry for the technical problem just now. So I will restart
Ms.
again.
Helwani, can you try to turn
Can
off your
everyone hear me?
camera?
Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
now?
it's okay. I think it's fine now.
So everyone can hear me, all right? Okay.
Yep.
So good afternoon to the respecters of the opposite team and members of the floor. As the second speaker, I'm going to rebut every single problematic idea that came from the leader of opposition, and I will be giving out my positive material. First, I would like to point out why not be seen as employees, and the question, are the credits enough for all the expenses that you're facing as an intern on your way from home to the office? So your effort as an intern, the skills and talent should matter to the workplace, even as an intern. And your time is actually valuable, and that value is worth the money. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'm speaking, they are mistreated, and you say credits are enough throughout their internship. And this is why, this is why interns are given ownership for their works as well. So okay, Oh, sorry. Okay. So I would say that the leader of the opposition fails to understand. Boleh dengar tak? Hello?
Hello.
Okay, all right.
Kadang putus-putus.
Sorry. Okay. All right. So I will leave the, so although the short-term career success in interns, this should not be a reason to avoid unpaid internship. There are likely numerous factors at play that account for such a discrepancy. More importantly, the long-term career success of interns is well documented in literature are a path to better career outcomes. Therefore, I would like to reaffirm the points given by the Prime Minister, which is that it restricts students from exploring the other opportunities. And the second point was how the unpaid internship deepened the existing social divide. So today I'll be giving you my points on how unpaid internship issues should be concerned. Based on the internship policy of Malaysia, which are the remuneration, expenses, and medical benefits. So the MCCHR does not provide interns with any remuneration or medical benefit. So why do you think that the intern is going to pay for their expenses, such as their medical or personal accident or even travel insurance? So my first point is that it can actually also increases the effort to take the internship seriously. And with some internships paying 4,000 or 4,000 and 8,000 a month based on the research, interns are more motivated to treat a paid opportunity like the real job that is. A paid internship also gives internship with ownership over their work and motivation to take risks. We also want them to show up on time. Often, unpaid interns are full-time college students who have hours of classes, homework, sustainable practice, and it leads to crazy schedules and little sleep. If we're making our interns responsible for producing quality work and meeting deadlines, then we want their undivided attention. We also engaging our team, building relationship, and having some fun when the work is done. We want our interns to be part of that dynamic as well. The unpaid interns often operate on a shoestring budget or crazy schedule, meaning after hours, or celebrate the victories they're helping us achieve. Other than that, we also want to hire our best intern to full-time position. Therefore, like approximately 25% of minute when we say we're committed to developing young talent. We view internship as 3-month-long job interviews. If you show us you can be an asset to our team, then we'll make you a full-time part of it. Doing this also saves time. Full-time members are already on board and up to speed with our processes, goals, and mission. Moving on to my next point is how unpaid internships lower down. There are people willing to work for free. Then from an employer's viewpoint, any paying job is very desirable, even if their wages are low. This could mean employees in all fields and at all experience levels, eventually unpaid. My second point was the unpaid internship lower down wages. Sorry. Okay. Finally, unpaid internships are technically legal if they only benefit the intern, but it's hard to imagine any internship that doesn't somehow benefit the employer as well. Therefore, these are the employees employees that employers don't have to pay, removing the need to create more paying jobs for those who need them. Unpaid internship benefit only one group of people. How can you take action? Don't take an unpaid internship. If people aren't willing to work for free, companies will be forced to pay all the workers something. You can also help by the impact of unpaid internships and contact your representative in Congress to let them know how you feel. And moving on to my next one, in social mobility context, where one common criticism leveled against bar and exclude low-income individuals from participating and receiving the same opportunity as their wealthy counterparts. While wealthy students have the resources and capital to take up work without compensation to provide for them while working for free. As a result, the critical narrative argues unpaid internship expand the ever-widening gap between the wealthy and the worst of individuals. There is still a possibility for students by providing paid interns with more professional skills than their unpaid counterparts. Paid interns. Okay, sorry. Paid. So all in all, we, the government, have provided reasons or points on why we should agree with the motion where unpaid imposed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Helwani. The Deputy Prime Minister spoke for 6 minutes and 18 seconds. Next, I would like to call upon the Deputy Leader of Opposition, Mr. Abdul Rashid.
Wait for a moment. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good evening to everyone. I hope you are all in the best condition of you all. Today I'm going to start with the rebuttal before reinforcing our substantive on what my Prime Minister have said, our Prime Minister have said. So the rebuttal of time of young time, we are agreed that we can see in this industry, our young time is one of the big roles, have a big roles where they run the industry. The younger one, they have big ambition. They are very powerful enough. So this young one cannot be wasted just so on that internship. But we cannot deny that the fact that internship is minimum is 6 months to give the student or the intern student to have a new experience in that industries. So these issues is actually plays roles of 2% to what we call that, to stakeholder. So yeah. So from this stakeholder, there are one, the student itself, and the second one is the employee. Okay, about the rebuttal, there are accommodation on the employee. There are certain accommodation, but there are not all in. There are not all companies that have accommodation. So the way for government, there is one way, alternative way to fight against this. The government should have restricted in, for example, give the employee need to give health insurance to the companies need to provide health insurance to the intern student so that the intern student will be more secure. We doesn't want that the employer and the intern student to have being exploited. No matter we want an equal win-win situation. So basically, that is what I'm trying to rebuttal. So our point is payment should only be for those with experience and it is employed that are training in interns. I'm very agree with that. It is because young ages we cannot waste that. Yeah, I'm agree with your statement. But then again, the one that takes really long terms in this young age for student is the university time, the syllabus that have the syllabus that should not being existed at the first place. So this kind of things, if we shorten, we menilai, we rate back all the syllabus, it is this one necessary or not, or this one is we can shorten the lifespan of one particular degree or maybe diploma, so that the student will have more knowledge when they go to the university. They don't waste time. Although we can see that this might be stressful for the student. No, but it's not. The student must they can learn new things. They can manage their own stress when they are in this university where it is more shortened, but they can graduate early. So yeah, I'm trying to say that. And then the next one is, you said internship is an experimental environment. So, okay, we can see that it requires 6 months for an internship to study new things, to adapt with the situation. With these 6 months, they can menilai, they can look back at that situation. Am I okay with this job? Can I carry on? If I being hired later on, I will be paying minimum wage with this kind of average wage. This intern, they still need to be paid, but we're trying to say that there are big issue in Malaysia, where the employer used to employ a person who are not from Malaysia. They trust more people not from Malaysia, and this case is a huge case in Malaysia.
Please.
No, I don't accept. So this case, we want employee to have trust to the intern student. With this, employee can see that the intern student, they are capable enough, of they they capable. We don't want to exploit the internship. Then the government need to have one action, which is they are restricted. The employee must provide first the insurance, any kind of insurance. Japan is one of the country that have insurance in everything, even in bicycle they also have insurance in that. So we need to we need to apply that kind of situation for the good of Malaysian. So we try to say that the first the insurance, and then the intern, the employee need to give accommodation to the internship, so that the intern will be more secure. There are room for them to grow, to learn new things. Paying from this perspective of we can see that the employee, they can see that, oh yeah, Malaysian intern is not bad. I would like to hire more internship. This is one of the good roles where we can have more trust in Malaysia product, because we can see nowadays all of the industry doesn't trust much in the Malaysian product, and to avoid from the employee to have exploit the intern, they always exploit accept all the interns, and they don't have a proper employer. They don't have a proper worker to work under them. So the government also need to have a new restriction, where the employee must have must show that they employ and doesn't exploit over the internship. Every year they employ every year they take 600 of internship, and 100 they absorb to the company. So this is one of the way to give the student internship to see, am I suitable for this course, and can I continue, because I'm still young. So and the employee have more trust to the internship. That's all I in my case.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul Rashid. The Deputy Leader of Opposition spoke for 7 minutes. Next, I would like to call upon the Government Whip, Ms. Uy Iling. The floor is yours.
A very good afternoon to the distinguished guests, chairpersons, and members of the floor. The topic today is that the House believes that unpaid internship should be against the law, And we, as the affirmative team, strongly agree with the statement above. And before I summarize points from our team, I would like to take this opportunity to first rebut on some problematic issues that have been raised up by the opposition team. Firstly, the opposition leader says that money or pay is not a factor that affects interns whether they are feeling valued by the companies, but the way employers treat interns is what that makes them feel needed. This is actually wrong, as you're not valued by the companies, as they mistreat you, they exploit you to spend all of your time, energy. Imagine you're working like from morning 9 to afternoon 5. You need to spend all of your time 8 hours a day to work in a company, and they just treat you as a ghost there. You contribute, but you're not paid. So how do you feel about that? You're down, you feel not needed, and you're not enthusiastic towards this career, and eventually you lost your dream about this career. Next, the opposition leader has also mentioned about companies are going to assert high expectations on interns if they are going to pay them. However, interns, the words interns means they are students. So students with limited experience or without experience is already a prior condition that is clear by both parties, both interns and also companies, before they take internship accept internship in their companies running. And with the paying system that is going to be a gift from the company that they appreciate as a token of appreciating the production or the contribution of those interns in their company, as interns also, they may contribute less, but they are not doing nothing or not helping the companies, because when they learn, they are doing something. They are producing maybe as an architect students, when we do interns, we learn about software like CAD, AutoCAD. When we learn, we're not drawing empty lines or drawing beautiful drawings that doesn't mean anything. We're producing floor plans, sections, elevations, we're helping in rendering. That is how we are going to contribute. We may not contribute or do the perfect work, but we are still contributing. So the term paying should be unpaid intern should be illegal, as it brings down all the hopes of interns about this career, and it creates parasitic relationship between the companies and also the students. As we can see, there are actually companies that they don't hire just some of the permanent employees, but they take advantage on interns. They hire many of interns to do the work that they expect them to work as permanent employees. They are working like permanent employees and getting nothing from the company. And yet they lost the opportunity to learn, as there are not the ratio between permanent employees and also interns are imbalanced. They don't have the opportunity to actually learn from seniors, from experts, but they are here and there exploring, discovering by themselves. And the companies actually take this advantage to reduce their financial expenses. Don't you think this is unethical? So I strongly believe that unpaid interns should be illegal in this case. And furthermore, the condition worsens when students means they're students, they're full-time students, they don't have extra income or side income. They spend most of their time in a day to 8 hours out of 24 hours to work as an intern, and yet they need to spend for their own food, transportation, rental, and all. So they have commitment as well. They need to keep themselves alive to work for the company, and the company doesn't appreciate them. This is why unpaid interns should be illegals. And now I would like to summarize the case for our team, the affirmative team, that from our Prime Minister, she said that unpaid internships deepens the existing social divide and impact career outcome. Yes, students are spending 2 months or up to 9 months to work and contribute to the productivity of the company. So without paying, it reduces the enthusiasm that they would like to, they will feel themselves, am I being exploited to work, contribute energy and time here, but seems like it's wasting of time. I can just go and work as a popular part-time worker with the pay of 5 ringgit per hour, let's say, or in McDonald's, I can get 10 ringgit per hour. But why am I here? To work, to learn, that I'm in the condition that I work more than those who are getting paid, and I'm there just wasting my time. And next, the second point from our Deputy Prime Minister is that unpaid internship lower down wages. Yes, this point has again been addressed, that there are companies that exploit this advantage to hire less permanent employees and hire those interns to do all the dirty works, time-consuming works, and repetitive works. With this, I rest my case, and here I would like to firmly highlight again that unpaid internship should be illegal in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wu Yiling, for the points given. The government whip spoke for 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Next, I would like to call upon the opposition whip, Ms. Nur Akila, to present her case.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone, the educators, the chairperson, timekeepers, my opposition team, and also the government team. Okay, so let's just get on with it. For today, I will give some rebuttals and then explain a bit the main clashes that has happened throughout this debate. And then I will enhance more the arguments that has given by my DPM and PM. Okay, the first rebuttal I would say is the one thing what they are describing these employers. They're only, in my opinion, they are describing bad employers. What about the good employers? Where are those who motivate the interns? What are those? Why are those not raised in this debate? And also another another thing I want to rebut is definitely, of course, the opposition, the government whip has mentioned that those drawings you propose are part of university's syllabus and all those the drawings that we have done. One thing, the drawings that we have done are part of the university syllabus. When you go into internship program, you're just doing those again, like in the university syllabus, but applying real lifetime scenarios. And that's why they are not, interns are not supposed to look as working employees, but look as students that are learning. And again, we want to emphasize internship is a training experience for the students.
May I please?
Okay.
Okay, do you think that we get the chance or the opportunity to learn how to draw during schooling? And it means that we're experienced to contribute to the company when we do internship. We are producing drawings, and yet we are not valued by, we are not valued, we are not appreciated, we are not paid.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I can understand. I'll try to answer that in the way I understand. Okay. So what you're saying is the drawings are experience. Well, the thing is, these drawings are in a scenario where it doesn't exist. So when you go into internship programs, these are real scenarios and these are drawings that are applied real-time scenarios. What you learn in school is just basically it's just one thing, it's just like going sorry, it's just learning how to be creative, but when you go to internship programs, you are learning the real-time scenarios. Okay. Now, let's go to the main clashes that there are two main clashes. The first one is one thing I see that both of us mentioned is restrict students from exploring other things. While they say that it restricts them from being more enthusiastic and all, our opposition side feels like when you join in the internship program, the thing is they have a number. It's not like forever there will be an internship program. That sometimes will be around between 6 months until a year. The thing is that's how long skills can be developed. Now, when you find in those 6 months or a year, you don't suit those things, like you don't feel like this is comfortable for you. I feel like that's a way for these students to explore other things. In a way, if the internship doesn't suit them, they can go explore other things. And then another thing is another main clash would be the employees treating them as humans. One thing about the government team is they are only highlighting bad employees. We are going to highlight bad employees as well. We are saying bad employees are going to be punished for what they do, and that's why one of the arguments is making sure that the employees get what they deserve. If they treat the interns unfairly. There are also, and to note, there are also good employees out there. Now, let's go back to the three main arguments that we have mentioned. Internship is only a training experience and there's no reason to pay them. And that is very true, because again, we want to emphasize, these are students, these are learning, they are trying to know what is going on, the real situation. And these employees are another teachers for them. And that's number one. And then number two will be payment should only be those with experience, and it is the employer that are training these interns. Another thing I would mention is by discarding unpaid internship, it lowers down wages. Now I want to give you another scenario. What about fresh graduates? What are they going to be paid as much as these interns? Now both of them have very different like one has experience and one that doesn't, but they are being paid at the same which is the low down wages. So we don't want that to happen, especially for these fresh graduates who has gone through much more experience compared to these interns, which are the students. Now, and lastly, we want to talk about the internship is an experimental environment. Again, we want to say it's just this is another way for these students to explore the real world. And if the real world doesn't suit them, they can always change. And that's how they explore and gain experience from all of this. Now, this is the reason why, basically this, from all the things I've mentioned, from the rebuttals, from the main clashes, and also how the arguments I enhanced earlier, basically tells us why the opposition teams cares deeply for the interns themselves, and also why we should win for today's debate. And with that, I thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Ms. Nurse Akila. The opposition whip spoke for 6 minutes and 31 seconds. Now 3 minutes will be given to both teams to prepare for their reply speeches. And the time starts now. Your 3 minutes is up. Ladies and gentlemen, this debate will resume with the reply speeches. Let us now invite opposition team to sum up the case for today's debate.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So, Assalamualaikum. Once again, I bid to everyone in this room. So now the opposition team would want to carry out the reply speech. So what we want to focus first is to tell you who are we actually trying to protect in this debate. We throughout the whole debate, we can see that the important stakeholders that have been mentioned by the government and us are both the interns and the employers. However, the government's team has a very big emphasis on only the interns, and not much has been said on how this motion would protect the employers. And as if we see the big picture, this would actually affect the economy as a whole, because they would be more focused on such an not such a big issue, and thus the economy won't be prosperous, won't develop more in a more prosperous direction. So we would like to emphasize that if this motion passes, it would bring harm actually to the employers, to the whole spread of employers. It doesn't matter if it's the bad ones or the good ones. It will affect them as a whole, as the economy would eventually be affected. And then if the motion is towards our goal, in which unpaid employment should not be banned, it will actually help in a long term, because the issue of funding and paying the internship would not hold back the government to consider paying other more important groups of people, such as graduated students and etc. So throughout this whole debate, the government has already proven how internship is already only just a training experience, and that in itself shows that there is not much of a reason to pay them, and that payment is only eligible for those who are experienced, in which they are the people who have completed the syllabus and has a full understanding of at least the minimum of what their career should do. And then we have also mentioned how internship is only an experimental environment in which they can, it is not the fault of the either we pay or I do not pay them. It is the fault of the way the government, the employers treat their internship, which is what big problem is, and that is what it should be solved, not the aspect of paying or unpaying. And then the opposition team has also stated the arguments where stated the arguments in which we have rebutted as said as the whip. So I would like to reinforce our motion and state that if the motion passes, it will not benefit much of the employers, and indirectly the whole economy as a whole. So I end my, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alia, for summing up the opposition's team. Lastly, we welcome the government team to sum up their case for today's debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is very clear that this entire debate of side opposition and side of government has been on different pages. I think we might even on different books as well, because this entire debate clearly stated right there in the motion, given that unpaid internship should be against the law. Unpaid internship. We did not say anything about employers because the motion already stated it is about the internship. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So when you say that we should think about the employers more than the internship, where the entire debate clearly stated it is about internship, why it should be against the law. So when you say that, we didn't say things about bad employers or good employers. We said, what's the effect of the unpaid internship? So a praise or a compliment from your boss may makes you happy, but only salary can make you survive. And from what I define internship as the position of a student or trainee who works in an organization. So someone who works deserves to be paid. Like all of your hard works, all of your work should be paid, even though you are an internship and and it is part of the syllabus as well, but you are contributing something to the companies. You are working 9 hours per day and you doesn't get paid. Do you think that would helps you in further doing the same work in the same company? And also, the deputy leader of opposition said about trust issue and where the students are going to come for just the money. I think you got it wrong right there, because the paid for the internship is a reward. And when you say that everything's have insurance, like even a bicycle have insurance, and the employee should provide accommodation, but how many employers can provide that? Doesn't it make more sense that you pay them rather than you need to find accommodation or whatsoever? So I would like to state that you doesn't know, I mean the side of opposition doesn't know the difference between a fresh graduate and even an internship, and you are being misleading and you doesn't even provide any point. So they have been pulling the debate towards their side this entire day. But we are here to discuss why we should support the motion. So we as the government branch are not evil people. And therefore, we believe that unpaid internship should be against the law, because and the when it is get paid, you can affect your career outcome and it gets better for the internship students as well. So with that, I hope you with that we have already wiped out the opposition in all of their points, because obviously opposition have been traveling in two separate paths. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shararath, for summing up the government's case. Ladies and gentlemen, with that marks the end of today's debate. Honorable adjudicators will be directed to another breakout room for 10 minutes to decide the winner of this debate.
And they're out. Adjudicators are out.
It's an recording.
Exciting session.
Yes. Today we gaduh one.
Oh God.
Okay, macam biasa Alia, kita punya tu
Apa Alia?
kita minta everyone's punya IG sila list down supaya kita boleh follow.
What?
It has
By the
been
way,
our
you guys
tradition.
did a great job.
You guys,
Thanks,
boy.
you guys
I
did an
think
awesome job.
Both
Okay,
teams did a
macam
great
how-
job.
the last one I need to support macam yes, praise her.
So you guys are all from architecture course, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sama juga, sama juga.
Yeah, nice.
You
nice.
guys going on third year? First year? Second year?
We're going on to fifth year.
Oh,
One by one.
Oh, going on fifth year tu.
Yeah, how about you guys?
Guys, ambil ni ambil asasi ya. You guys take asasi ke? You guys are going fifth year? Then diploma.
Master.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting. We're going on third year.
That's
Baru nak
great.
start. And the rest.
Daniel and Rashid are going. The boys are going on second year.
Oh.
Good try. Macam mana? Suka architecture tak?
GG lah.
I will cry.
Tak payah tidur.
What is sleep?
Sleep
Alright.
is just a dream.
I will initiate IG. Okay.
Me too.
I will initiate. Please follow.
You guys debate before?
Never.
Never.
Once in secondary school, but we lost lah. So
Two had traumatized
Traumatic.
experience
yeah.
and two
Oh.
that inexperienced.
Okay. Oh, are you guys sharing the
Yeah,
Instagram, is it?
Yes. Aku ni
Wow.
tak follow you lagi.
Dah lah, it's been a tradition since the first round.
Iliana also.
Konon.
Iliana.
Sure. Tapi tapi segan. Okay, tapi tak payah bagi.
Yay!
At connections.
Yeah.
Okay, after you guys are done with following each other's Instagram, can I request to take pictures of you guys?
Oh yeah.
Did it? All right.
Boleh.
Okay.
I don't know lah. Like for UTM, they have been with me since their first session. So like every session, I took their pictures. I don't know for you guys.
Oh, we are like all different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every room's different.
We bonded with Aimuni already. We're paying her actually. Yeah, I follow Iliana also.
How come Nuris no follow me one? Oh,
Ah.
Nuris. Why?
Nuri.
I cannot find. That's
I
not.
cannot
It's her name.
What's
It's
her
her
name?
real name.
Okay, kejap. I think I should type in here kot.
Yeah. Kalau I search Aimuni lain yang keluar. Not Aimuni.
Oh, my Instagram is the one yang macam ni gambar dalam Instagram macam ni.
Oh, I found her. I found her everyone. There she is. Alamak.
Wow.
tak.
Wait.
So
Who
funny.
is
Secretary Academic and Mobility.
Kejap.
Oh. Wait.
We have found her. Let me share everybody supaya you can follow her too.
Wait, who's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jayu, you don't want to share?
Yeah, mention orang.
Because he had wrote down, yeah. I can copy out his words.
You guys joined workshop before? I mean for the third year. No. Oh.
Because we were when we were first years,
We were first year,
right?
Yeah.
IUKL no.
I think we didn't join the IUKL one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the latest one, right?
I don't remember.
Was it still? Is it like this or
What?
was it physical?
It's physical. It's
then-
more fun that
Yeah,
way.
We didn't join the physical one because when we came in,
It's COVID.
Second semester
Mhm.
COVID instantly.
Yeah, second semester terus COVID. So
Ah,
not much we did lah.
patut lah.
Everything was cancelled.
Yeah, I mean, we saw our seniors at Taylor's, all of that, and
Yeah,
this one I was
Really
like,
fun.
I was crying because I was
Super
like,
fun.
when is my time?
Taylor really best.
Uh,
Ecom.
I think okay kot nak ambil gambar.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. So Hadia
Uh,
is here. Okay, after the announcement.
Oh ya ke?
Nah. Okay, anything.
Boleh je. I think it's okay to take pictures now.
All
Okay?
right.
Are you guys ready?
Then,
Okay.
Yes.
Rashid, background kau
Rashid.
tu. Kenapa kau government?
Baru perasan ya.
It's a betrayer.
Oh, dah USM sekarang. Aku tak kenal kau.
USM sekarang.
Aku tak kenal kau dah. Siapa
Bye,
kau?
bye.
Saya dah pindah unit.
All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Another one. 1, 2, 3. All right. Chun. Okay. Also an announcement. A new update to the winning team for this round. Please stay back in this Zoom session because we will have a test run for the Gather Town in semifinals. And now I'll pass to the adjudicators to announce the results.
Okay, hi everyone. So I'm going to announce the result for today. But before I announce the result, maybe I say some general comments about this debate. So firstly, this motion today is about like whether unpaid internship should be against the law. But then I realized that a lot of you are arguing about like whether internship is good or bad, or the employer is good or bad, without focusing on the point that whether it should be against the law. And then I also hope that both things could like tell us about the background of what is currently happening like right now before starting into the point, which should be stronger as and more convincing. So okay, I'm going to announce the result. Both of us agree that the winning team is the government team. So, and I'm going to say give some justification on this judgment. So a large part of this debate is on the point that whether internship itself is a train or work that should be paid by the company. While both sides have their point, we would note that like towards the end of the debate, the government team has a good point saying that like, oh, while working and while the company might know that okay, these people might lack some skills and something like this, but then this company already know this and still hire them, and also the fact that they are not doing nothing. So of course the opposition team, also the opposition did try to make some rebuttals by telling them that oh, there's an extension of uni's syllabus, and then like there's some real scenario compared to like just theoretical. But then we think that this rebuttal does not deny the fact that the company already know that and then still hire them, and as a result of this should pay to them. And therefore I think that like for this point, for this clash, the government team has an upper hand. And the next thing here is that like the government teams also said something about opportunity cost, on whether like this, on telling us that this student could have do other things during this time. So for example, part-time which earn money. And then the opposition team told us a lot of alternative on like how to ensure that this student like their for example, health insurance, accommodation, and something like this. First of all, we are not very sure if this is relevant to this debate on whether like unpaid internship should be against the law or not. And then the second thing is that like even if all of these alternatives stand and we are going to execute it, we don't think that it actually solve the problem of this student does not get enough money and social mobility problem. While it gives them some insurance when they are having an accident, we don't think that like it can solve the problem of like they could have been earning money this time and the opportunity cost argument. Okay, so and then there's also some smaller clash about like enthusiasm of the people, like the motivation. The opposition team try to say that like other factors could have been playing, like this treatment and something like this. First of all, I don't think that like stating other factors could actually rebut this argument well. And then the second thing is that like the government team did a good POI, which is that not paying the internship is a bit treatment by itself. And I think that this well rebut the opposition team. Okay, and then there are some like smaller clashes. For example, like talking about employers or the fresh graduate. Like the opposition team try to try to tell us that, oh, it might affect good employers. I think that might be a good point, like how it affect the employers. But then I would like to hear more reasoning on that, because like just telling me that it will affect the good employers doesn't really work well. Maybe you can give more reasoning, and by doing this, I think that like with more elaboration, perhaps it can change something. So anything to add on by Hadira?
Okay, I'll just give my personal feedback, more specific lah. Okay, the debate start, actually it's pretty good, but the problem that government has is that you don't have a strong case setup, meaning that you don't, PM should come and then say, okay, what is the meanings of against the law? So if we are saying against the law, meaning that the employer will be penalized on this part, right? So these kind of things you need to clarify in the first place. If PM fail to clarify this, LO come and and just point the mistake that they have made. So we will give you credit on that. But unfortunately, both sides didn't do that. So I couldn't give credits to any benches. And then I feel like there are few things clashes that, okay, we're basically talking about against the law. So meaning that your own side have your own stakeholder. Okay, I heard that one person saying that we need to protect employers, right? No, it's not like that. Meaning that if you are government, you are protecting interns. But if you are in the side of opposition, you are protecting this employer, these companies. So every branches have their own stakeholders. Just make sure that you have which part that you want to protect. That's it. Clarify first thing first, okay? And then wait, yeah. Okay, why do I give the winning points to government? Is it because government have more relevance argument? Okay, yes, this round is basically average, but I can say I pretty clear with the argument. I can grab what are the arguments that being given by government is pretty clear. But when it comes to opposition, you're talking about restriction of time where you can actually use that time to explore the. Okay, first thing first, internship is basically like in general knowledge, you all know that internship is a university requirement, meaning that like it or not, you will need to undergo this internship program. Is it right? Okay. So if you're talking about other time where you are not needed to go to internship, then you can explore another thing. So basically, I don't really think that this restriction argument is relevant. And then just last part. Okay, I think the better thing that opposition could run is basically you can say how these internship programs. Now, how is this very unjust? If we are saying that it is against the law, so it is very unjust for this company and employers, right? Because in the first place, you are needed to get placement. So it is good enough for this company and employers to give you to give you the opportunity to gain experience. I think these are the things that you could put forward and you will have that credit. But you didn't mention that. So again, I couldn't give you credit on that. And you can also mention that you can also tell us the reality of the internship programs, like how do this work? Because not all interns do their work, right? It's some interns, they just like go and then they didn't do anything. They just like print something. You can just mention this. It's just relevant. You can say that why we need to pay them even though they don't really do work in the first place. So I think it's good enough for them to gain experience and we give you the opportunity, but at the same time, yeah, this thing okay, this just like revolves around this. So I guess you get it. This is just the main idea. So if you need personal feedback, just contact me and Chunket. Okay. Congratulations for the teams that make it to the next round and commiseration for another team. It's okay. You are close enough. Just make sure that you improve your argument better. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now okay, now some of the other rooms they requested to since the winning team they will have a test run in the gather town. The other teams might be transferred into another room to just talk to each other and hang out, if that's what you guys want. If you guys don't want to, it's also fine. So now we're waiting for their decisions first, and then I'll update.
All right.